edge of the sword. Shalom. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, the great millstone. Those are the men that taught me this truth. Peace, blessings, and safety to the elect of the nation of Israel, scattered throughout the four corners of the planet Earth. My name is Brother Yaquam. I'm not coming back, Lord willing, with an edifying lesson to edify and feed the lambs of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash. The title of this lesson is Satan Works for Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Okay, Satan is a servant of the Lord. Okay. And I just want to get a couple precepts on that topic. Because I had made a statement in my last lesson dealing with how Christianity puts the Lord in a box. And basically I made the statement that Satan works for the Lord, and he indeed does. And I'm just going to give a couple precepts to explain how. Now, I'm going to start with Isaiah 45:7. It says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. So the Lord creates evil. Right? And Satan is known for creating evil. Right? It says Isaiah 45:7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, do all these things. So the Lord does all these things. Job 1. Look at Job chapter 1, verse 8. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man? So Job was a perfect and upright man, but that didn't make Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi think twice about sending Satan to tempt him. You know, Job was deserving of every blessing that he got, but the Lord tested him as though he wasn't. Key word is tested. You know, he was testing him. Job 1:8. And Yahawah said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth power and escheweth evil? Job escheweth evil. Let's go to that word in the Hebrew for escheweth. It says to turn aside, depart, to be removed, depart from way, avoid. So Job avoided evil. You know, he lived a life that was avoiding of evil, constantly avoiding evil, doing the right thing, serving the Lord Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi with all his heart and with all his soul. So it says, is there that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect? Job was called perfect. All right, that's why the Lord said in Matthew, be ye perfect. Matthew 5:48. It says, be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. Okay, and where do we have the examples? Men like Job, forefathers like Job. It says, he says, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth the Most High and escheweth evil. Then Satan answered the Lord and said, does Job fear the Most High for naught? Has not thou made an hedge about him? Aren't you protecting him? You know, you think he fears you for nothing? You've been protecting him. You've been blessing him. That's why he fears you. Satan is, being Satan. Verse 10, has not thou made an hedge about him and about his house and all that he have on every side? So when the Lord is with us, that means he's protecting our household also. Let's go to that word hedge. It says shawak, to hedge or fence up or about, hedge up, to entwine, shut in, for formation, protection, or restraint. So the Lord has a hedge of protection around Job, and we're all asking for that same hedge of protection going into the times that we're about to face. It says, has not thou made an hedge about him and about his house and about all that he have on every side? Thou hast blessed the works, Slakia. Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. Put forth thine hand now and touch all that he have, and he will curse thee to thy face. So Satan basically made a bet with Yahawah that if he was to take all that Job had, dealing with his substance, and he had very great substance, then Job would curse him to Yahweh's face. It says, verse 12, and the Lord said unto Satan, behold, all that he have is in thy power. Only upon himself put not forth thine hand. And that's how it feels sometimes. You know, you will be so plagued with demons, you will feel like the only thing that isn't happening to you is you being physically harmed. You know, everything else is messing up, but you know, at least you're not physically harmed. You know, but the Lord can test you in that way. Job 1:12, and Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi said unto Satan, behold, all that he have is in thine power. Only upon himself put not forth thine hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord. So the Lord said, look, you can do whatever you want with him. Just don't, just don't touch him. No, just don't touch him with your hands. So it says, and Satan went from the presence of the Lord. So that was a commandment that the Lord Yahawah gave Satan. Okay. And Satan obeyed. Lord said, okay, do what you want to do. Just don't touch him. Satan left. He didn't object. He didn't say, well, I'm going to do what I want to do, this and that. No, the Lord, Slakia. Satan, he was cooperative. He was cooperative. Slakia, let me make sure y'all can hear me. Because right now, I can't hear myself. Okay, we're good. Job 1:13, and there was a day when his sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house because they were celebrating his birthday. And there came a messenger unto Job and said, the oxen were plowing and the asses feeding beside them, and the Sabines fell upon them and took them away. Yeah, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, the fire of the Most High is fallen from heaven and have burned up the sheep and the servants and consumed them, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. So all of his substance was being consumed. All of his substance was being wasted away, okay, by various judgments from Yahawashi. It says, verse 17, while he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, the Chaldeans made out 3 bands and fell upon the camel and have carried them away. Yeah, and the slain and slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped to tell thee. So Job was losing all of his substance. You see? It says, while he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness and smote the 4 corners of the house, and it fell upon the young men, and they are dead. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee. So Job lost his cattle, lost his camel, lost his oxen, lost his children, okay? All in a short period of time. Being tested by who? By Satan. Being sent. Who was Satan sent by? Yahawah. Who does Satan work for? Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. It says, verse 12, Job 1:20, then Job arose and rent his mantle and shaved his head because he was in mourning, and fell down upon the ground and worshiped and said, naked came I out of my mother's womb, naked shall I return thither. The Lord gave and the Lord have taken away. Blessed be the name of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. So Job, through his affliction, he did what? He understood that this was all a blessing from Yahweh Shai. No matter what you're going through, it's all the goodwill of the Lord. And Job took that as an opportunity to glorify the Lord. You know? Let me get this real quick. This is the book of Job, chapter 14, I think. Job 13 and 15. It says, though he slay me, okay, Job was being spiritually slain. He said, though he slay me, yet will I trust in him, right? Because you'll be at a point where, you feel like you're not really living, it's like, this is not living. Job 13 and 15, though he slay me, yet will I trust in him, right? If you have a bunch of things that's just going bad, one thing after another, after another, after another, it's like you're being slain spiritually. Though he slay me, yet will I trust in him, but I will maintain my own ways before him. So Job said he's going to trust in the Lord, even though the Lord is slaying him spiritually, which is integrity. Job was a man of integrity. Let's get that word, integrity. Integrity. It says the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles, moral uprightness, right? One that escheweth evil, a perfect and upright man, one that escheweth evil. Job had integrity. This is the book of Job, chapter 2 and verse 1. Again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. So Satan came with the sons of God. Why? Because he is one of the sons of God on the left-hand side. The left-hand side where you have the demons. And Satan is the top demon. And Satan came also among them to present himself before Yahawah. Why would he come if he wasn't a son of the Most High? If there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves, and then Satan came to present himself, then that means that Satan is a son of the Most High. Job 2 and 2, and Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi said unto Satan, from whence camest thou? Where is you coming from? And Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth and walking up and down in it. So Satan didn't talk back. Satan didn't say, I don't answer to you. You're my arch enemy. Satan immediately said, I've been going here, I've been going there, up and down in the earth. He's reporting. He's presenting himself. Let me see something real quick. Let's go to that word, to present. It says to place, set, stand, set, station oneself, present oneself, to station oneself, take one stand, present oneself, stand with someone. Strong's definition, a primitive root, to place anything so as to stay. So he was in place, it was like a roll call, and Satan was there. If I tell my dog, a dog can roam anywhere throughout the house, but if I want his attention and I tell him to sit, he's obeying me. So Yahawah wanted Satan's attention. It says to place anything so as to stay, reflexively, to station, offer, continue, present selves, remaining, resort, set selves, be able to, can, stand with, forth. Yeah, so Satan just came to report for Yahawah because he works for Yahawah. Bahasham Yahawashi. It says, Job 2 and 1, again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before Yahawah, and Satan came also among them to present himself before Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. And the Lord said unto Satan, from whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth and walking up and down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there was none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth the Most High and escheweth evil, and still he holdeth fast his integrity? You see, the Lord had Job perfect and upright, so that he had integrity. That's why we just look at that word integrity. Okay, he was strict to his moral and upright ways, which are the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, the faith of the salvation, of the hope of the salvation of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. It says, and still holdeth fast his integrity. He still, after his camels was taken, after his oxen was killed, after his his children was killed, he still hold fast his integrity. He still maintained to serve the Lord. It says, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause, right? Because Job didn't deserve what he was getting, but that didn't mean that he couldn't get it. So you could be living the right way. That don't mean that, everything is going to be going all gravy in your life. It might be the complete opposite, as with Job. Because when you go to Hebrews 12:6, it says, let's start at 5. It says, and ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children, my son. Despise not thou the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. So we shouldn't despise the chastening of the Lord. Job was being chastised. He said, though it said in Job 13:15, though he slay me, yet will I trust in him. So Job was being chastised. It's that word chastisement. It says the whole training and education of children, which relates to cultivation of mind and morals, and employs for this purpose now commands and admonitions, now reproof and punishment. It also includes the training and care of the body. Whatever in adults also cultivates the soul. So Job's soul was being cultivated by correcting mistakes and curbing passions. Meaning being guided. These people have a zeal for the Most High, but not according to knowledge. They need someone to come and curb their passions. It says, whatever in adults cultivates the soul, especially by correcting mistakes and curbing passions. Instruction which aims at increasing virtue. So that's chastisement. Instruction which aims at increasing virtue. That's what Job was going through. A process that would increase his virtue. Chastisement, chastening of the evils with which the Most High visits men for their amendment, for our correction. Okay? And Job was perfect, but he still got chastisement. Why? We're going to read it. Hebrews 12:5. It says, and ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as children, my son, right? Because the exhortation is the chastisement, okay, which children get chastised, and we are children. It says, especially because we're in this truth. We're the children of Israel, but we were born again when we came into this truth. So when you get up into them ages where you've been in the truth for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, that's the age, that's the high peak ages of chastisement for a child. 4, 3, 4, 5, when they learn how to talk, walk, say no, talk back, those are the peak ages of chastisement. So when you're in those years of being in the faith, the same thing comes. Hebrews 12:5, and ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. So if the Lord loves you, he's going to correct you by evils. We just read it. It said evils by the way which the Lord visits men for their amendment, for their correction. So the Lord sends evils for correction. Prime example, chattel slavery. Okay, that was for our correction. It says, for whom the Lord loveth. So the Lord loves Job. Because there ain't too many that was afflicted more than Job. It says, for whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. If ye endure chastening, if you maintain your integrity like Job, and I didn't know this was going to turn into a lesson about Job, but it's good though. I just wanted to talk about how Satan works for the Lord, you know. But Job was an important forefather of ours, and a great example for the hopeful elect. Hebrews 12:7, and if ye endure chastening, the Most High dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? So there's none of the elect went without chastisement. Okay, none of the elect went without chastisement or have gone without chastisement. Not one. Job 2:3. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil, and still holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause? And Satan answered the Lord and said, skin for skin, yeah, all that a man have, will he give for his life. But put forth thine hand now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. So it's like Satan said, look, Lord, if you touch his health, if you affect his health, if you actually affect him, because last time Lord said he couldn't touch him. He said, well, if you let me touch him this time, he'll curse you to his face. Verse 5, but put forth thine hand now and touch his bone and his flesh. See, Satan wants to put you in chaotic situations to the point where you say, maybe what I believe in is not the truth. Maybe that's why I'm going through what I'm going through, because what I believe in is not really what I should be believing in. That's his whole job. So he brings hell into men's life to try to move men to react that way, to curse the Yahawashi to their face. It says, but put forth thine hand now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. Okay, go ahead. You could touch him, but don't kill him. Again, the Lord giving Satan another commandment, another day, another shift. Okay, another assignment, another briefing. Job 2:6, and Yahawah Bahasham said unto Satan, behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. So went Satan forth from the presence of the Lord and smote Job with sore boils. So Satan clearly had to get permission before he did it, both times. Showing you Christianity is off. They put the God of the Bible, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, in a box. All right, and the Lord is not in a box. All right, because the Lord has all things under his control. Job 2:7. So went Satan forth from the presence of the Lord and smote Job with sore boils from the sole of his foot unto his crown. And he took him a potsherd and scraped himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes. So Job was diseased with boils all over his body, man. Okay, it's one thing for you to be sick, but it's another thing for you to look sick. Okay, that's a great shame and embarrassment, for you to have boils and, people staring and people pointing and people making fun, and your woman don't want to touch you. This was a great affliction that came upon Job. Why? Because he was a perfect and upright man. And the adversary, the devil, which the word devil means deceiver and slanderer. Okay, he was slandering Job. And he was jealous. He was upset that righteousness was within him. It said, and he took him a potsherd to scrape himself with all, and he sat down among the ashes. So Job had, this picture, you having boils on your body from the bottom of your feet to the top of your head, all boils, painful boils. Verse 9, then said his wife unto him, dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse God and die. So who is that speaking through his wife? That was Satan, obviously, because here it is. You didn't hear nothing about his woman when his children died, when the camels died, when the oxen died. When the servants died, everything was good. But once his physical looks and his physical appearance went, all that other shit went out the door. Scriptures say that Satan entered into Judas Iscariot. Satan actually entered into Judas and made him do what he did. Let me see if I can get that real quick. To the book of St. John 13 and verse 27. And after the sop, Satan entered into him. Then said Yahawashi unto him, that thou dost do quickly. Luke 22 and 3. Then entered Satan into Judas, surnamed Iscariot, being of the number of the 12. So Satan enters into his host, I should say. The whatever demons that he wants to put into individuals enters into them and causes them to go off and do the things that they do. Job 2 and 9. It says, then said his wife unto him, dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse the Most High and die. So, but Satan didn't enter into Job. Satan couldn't enter into Job. You see? So who did he go to? He went to Eve. He couldn't enter Job because if he could, he would have to make Job curse the Most High. It said verse 10, but Job was what? A perfect and upright man, one that avoided evil. So Satan can only come where evil is. He can't dwell within righteousness. Job 2 and 10. But he said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of God, and shall we not receive evil? So both good and evil is going to come from the Lord. I could have read that in the last lesson, but this is really a land back from the last lesson on the main channel. It says, shall we receive good at the hand of God, and shall we not receive evil? So what is that? That's balance. These things have to come together. Good, evil, up, down, left, right, white, black, happy, sad, sick, healthy, life, death. That's the Lord. And everything in between. It says, shall we receive good at the hand of God, and shall we not receive evil? And all this did not Job sin with his lips. So Job, through all the affliction, he didn't sin with his lips. Look at another example of the Lord having these, number one, Satan and these wicked spirits at his command. This is the book of 2 Kings. No. 1 Kings 22. And 1 Kings 2 and 18. And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, Did I not tell thee that he would prophesy no good concerning me, but evil? And he said, Hear thou therefore the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne, and all the host of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left. So he saw all the host of heaven, meaning all the angels and all the quote unquote demons, because demons are just angels on the left hand side. So he saw them all sitting on his throne. So like he saw the Lord sitting on his throne and the host of heaven standing on his right hand, which are the righteous angels, and on his left hand, which are the wicked angels. 1 Kings 22 and 19. And he said, Hear thou therefore the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne, and all the host of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left. And the Lord said, Who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said on this manner, And another said on that matter. So the Lord said, who is going to persuade this King Ahab to do what I want him to do? Who's going to persuade him? Which one of you spirits is going to enter into him and persuade him? Right? And it says, and there came forth a spirit and stood before the Lord and said, I will persuade him. So one of the spirits stepped up. Let's go to that word spirit. It's Rakha. Rakha. Rakha just says spirit. Spirit. Spirit of the living, breathing in man, animals. So basically, we know this referring to an angel. It doesn't give us much pertaining to the context, but it's referring to an angel. It says 1 Kings 22 and 21, and there came forth a spirit and stood before the Lord and said, I will persuade him. And the Lord said unto him, wherewith? Well, how you going to do it? And he said, I will go forth and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. So he said, look, I'm gonna have all his prophets lie to him. And then it's gonna lead him right into the direction that you want him, Lord. You see? So is lying a sin? Yes. Did the Lord lie? No. Did his angels lie? No. His angels caused men to lie. The Lord cannot do iniquity. Okay? It says 1 Kings 22 and 22, and the Lord said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, thou shalt persuade him and prevail also. Go forth and do so. Lord said, you know what? That's a good idea. Go forth and do so. Now, therefore, behold, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi have put a lying spirit in the mouth of all these thy prophets, and the Lord have spoken evil concerning thee. So the Lord executed through his angels and put a lying spirit. Okay. Let's go to Proverbs. We'll close with this real quick. Proverbs. Let's see. Proverbs 17 and 11. It says, an evil man seeketh only rebellion. Therefore, a cruel messenger shall be sent against him. So a cruel messenger is a death angel. Okay, a death angel. Those death angels are sent out to rebellious people. It says, an evil man seeketh only rebellion. Therefore, a cruel messenger shall be sent unto him or against him. A cruel messenger, which is a death angel. Ezekiel 9 and 1, he cried also in mine ears with a loud voice, saying, cause them that have charge over the city to draw near, even every man with his destroying weapon in his hand. These men that have charge over the city are the angels. It says that in Psalm 91 that he shall give his angels charge over thee. Okay. Cause them that have charge over the city to draw near, even every man with his destroying weapon in his hand. Okay, it says, verse 2, and behold, 6 men came from the way of the higher gate, which lieth toward the north, and every man a slaughter weapon in his hand. And one man among them was clothed with linen, and was clothed with linen, with a writer's inkhorn by his side. And they went in and stood beside the brazen altar. And the glory of the power of Israel was gone up from the cherub whereupon he was to the threshold of the house. And he called to the man clothed with linen, which had the writer's inkhorn by his side. And Yahawah said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. So the Lord told the angel to go and set a spiritual mark in the minds. This is a spiritual mark in Ezekiel 9 and 4. The word in the Hebrew for mark is tawah, okay, which means to be exempt from judgment. What judgment? The evil, cruel messenger, his judgment that he is coming from Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. The message is from Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. And he's that cruel messenger that's bringing judgment, that's bringing evil, that left-hand angel that works under Satan. It says Ezekiel 9:4. I'm gonna read through the mist. It says, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. And to the others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark. So you mean to tell me the Lord is killing women and young maids and little children and not killing certain men? You mean the Lord is mean the Lord has men's back? The Lord is not a feminist, you know? Where would you ever read something like this in this society, man? Besides the Bible, kill the kids, save the men. No, it's usually kill the men, save the children and the women. The Lord said, nah, man. It says, slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. And he said unto them, yeah, because the ancient men were the first ones to get that mark. They began what? They began to set a mark. They began to set those marks on the ancient men, which were before the house. What house? The house of the Lord. Then they began at the ancient men, which were before the house. And he said unto them, defile the house and fill the courts with the slain. Go ye forth. I mean, Slaki, the house is the house of Israel. And what they began to do was to slay them, not set the mark. Slaki. I had that reversed. It says, and he said unto them, defile the house and fill the courts with the slain. Go ye forth. And they went forth and slew the city. It came to pass. And now this really happened. Okay, this is not just poetry. It says Ezekiel 9:8, and it came to pass while they were slaying them, who? The angels, the cruel messengers. All right. And I was left, Ezekiel was left, that I fell upon my face and cried and said, ah, Lord, the Most High, wilt thou destroy all the residue of Israel in thy pouring out of thy fury upon Jerusalem? He said, you going to kill everybody? Said, damn, Lord, you going to kill everybody? I know you mad, but sheesh. Ezekiel 9:9, then said he unto me, the iniquity of the house of Israel and Judah is exceeding great, and the land is full of blood, and the city full of perverseness. For they say, the Lord hath forsaken the earth, and the Lord seeth not. So these Israelites were just extremely wicked. They basically were saying that the Lord don't exist. The Lord is not dealing with the planet Earth, and the Lord don't see our iniquities and what we're doing. Okay, so the Lord, has all spirits under his payroll, all right, including Satan. I'll close with Ephesians. Look at Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Okay, that spiritual wickedness comes straight from the heavens. That's why it's going to take Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi to change us and give us that new body so that we'll be able to have preeminence over that spiritual wickedness in high places, because our consciousness is going to be raised. Ephesians 6:12, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. That's what we're up against. Okay, and all of those things does Yahawah control. So just something real quick. Lord willing, this is edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. My name is Brother Yaquam, Kwam Yasharala, Shalom, Abba Ball.